This is my senior year in high school, and I fractured my clavicle bone in the scrimmage right before the regular season. The last scrimmage before the regular season. Going into the season, I was ready. I have worked so hard for this. In my mind, I was thinking nobody can stop me. Our team is so good. And then, boom, it happens like that. I break my shoulder, and I'm out for about 5 weeks. I was told in the beginning that my whole season was done. But through the works of God healing me, and I don't know if I had much to do with it. That was all God. But I made sure to stay in game shape through the time that I was out, or at least as close to it as I could get. And now I'm back with, I think, like 11 more games left in the season, and I've already gotten a week and a half of games under my belt. There have been ups and downs since I've come back, and I will tell you three things that you need to understand if you ever get injured or you are injured right now and you're coming back from that injury. You have to play the cards that you're dealt, plain and simple. One thing that I'm really known for in basketball is my shooting ability, and since I injured my shooting shoulder, my shots have been off every once in a while. It showed in our game today. Today is Friday, January 24th. Yeah. It showed in our game today. I was airballing, my shots were short, and I just wasn't playing like myself. But you have to play with the cards that you're dealt. You can't just give up and say, "Oh, well, I didn't want this to happen, so now I'm just gonna give up." You can't do that. We all know that. I'm just thinking about everything that happened today in the game in my head, and I'm looking back, and I didn't take my own advice. I pressed. I overpressed, and whenever I missed a shot, I got frustrated. I got down especially this loss hurt me. It hurt my heart, man, because there's so many what ifs, and what if I played better? What if I made more shots? What if I made better decisions? What if I made the right pass? Everything. But like I mentioned earlier, if you overpress, you're going to make yourself go crazy. You got to trust your teammates, you got to trust your coaches, trust God. The second thing I want to mention is do not lose faith in God. Don't get angry at God. If you ever read the Bible, there's the book of Job, and actually, the book of Job has been speaking to me a lot. My suffering is nothing compared to the suffering that Job went through, but I think I connect to it on a micro scale. Job was living a great life. Everything was going well, and then, boom, just like that, everything went crumbling down. His family was killed. He got sick. Everything went wrong. But through that, Job did not get angry at God. He still praised and worshiped God. He was confused. He was frustrated, but he never lost that faith. And it's so easy to get angry at God when things aren't going well. I have this humility to say that. I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. And there's moments when I just start thinking, why did God let this happen? Why? And those are all the wrong questions. Because when you pray, or at least when I pray, I always say, Lord, let your will be done. His will is going to be done regardless, but you have to trust in him. You have to trust the process, and it may not be what you want, but it's what needs to happen. We don't know why it happens. I don't know why I got injured. I don't. And I never will. Or maybe one day I will, maybe in the next life, but not now. And I can't be asking those questions. Don't lose faith in God. Think of this, right? Yeah, okay, maybe you got injured. Maybe you're even missing your entire season. It hurts. I couldn't imagine missing in the entire season. I'm so grateful that I've been able to heal. I'm very frustrated that I'm not fully 100% back, but that's neither here nor there. No matter what you're going through, just understand that Jesus went through more. The reason why God is so loving, so caring, and like how we can relate to Him, the reason why we can relate to God is because He went through that suffering with us and for us. So whenever you're going through this pain, whenever there's any pain in your life, look towards the cross. And that cross, a lot of people that aren't Christian will make fun of it and say, hey, that's not exactly His best moment, is it? The reason why we look to the cross is because it shows His everlasting love for us and His grace. Grace is unconditional love. The third thing that I got to tell you, I got to take my own advice, is number 3, have a balance of drive and tenacity and intensity with fun. You need to have that balance. I'm trying to figure it out for myself because I want to win so badly, and I drive myself crazy because of how much I want to win. And I've been losing sight of loving the game. I've been loving winning. And I do believe that basketball is fun when you win, but like even when we did win, like after the game, I wasn't even like, I was happy, but like it was more of like a relief because I've been pressing so much. I've expected a lot of myself since I've come back from this injury. I've wanted to be like back to my old self, and that's just not how it's been going. When you get hurt and you're coming back, you're not going to be the exact same as you were before. Now, that's not to discourage any of you, not in the slightest, because I know in due time I will be back to my old self, and I will be even better. But for right now, don't be so hard on yourself like I am being to myself. Take my mistakes as a lesson for you. Don't make the same mistakes that I'm making. Well, I just told you those 3 things. Now, I'm just going to talk a bit more. It's not exactly the most organized conversation, but I just want to talk to you just one-on-one, basketball player to basketball player. It's not going to be perfect. Your journey, your basketball career, it's not going to be perfect. And you may look at some of these guys that seem to have it all figured out. Like, I remember last year, I think I actually talked about this in a video, Cooper Flagg. That man has seemed to have it all figured out ever since the start. But if you look at his whole career, instead of just the highlights, you'll understand that it hasn't been perfect the whole way. He's made mistakes. He's messed up. And just like the rest of us. And everybody's basketball journey, I've said this in the past, everybody's basketball journey is different. It really is. And it doesn't make you a worse player if you go through adversity. Every great player has had to deal with adversity. Michael Jordan had to deal with the bad boy Pistons. LeBron James, he had to deal with all the negative press and living up to the hype. And then when he lost with the Heat the first year, he had to come back the next year and win. Don't let yourself get in that mindset of being defined by the things that happen to you, but be defined by your responses to it. I know things might not be going the way you intended them to go. You may get an injury that sidelines you for a long time, or something derails your season, or anything like that. I know that's not what you wanted. It's not what I wanted. It's not what anybody wants. But like I said, if you remember those 3 things I told you, play the cards that you're dealt, have a balance of drive and fun, and don't lose faith and get angry at God. Don't do that. You're doing the best you can. And you can't hang your head about it. No matter how bad you may think you're playing or how bad things may be going. If you're giving it your all, that's all you can do. I think this video is also therapy for me. Maybe I should rewatch this video back after I upload it. You can always trust God. And something I want to just say is like, I've had interactions with people that question, why do athletes thank God after they win? Like, God doesn't have other things to worry about, and he's just focusing on helping you win a basketball game. But I don't think that's why athletes thank God. I think athletes thank God for the opportunity to play the game that we love. We have the ability to run, jump, talk, see, hear, smell, move. Like, we have the ability to play the game, and that is something to be grateful for. Remember all the good things. Remember the opportunity you have. You should be grateful for this. And the moment you're not, the moment you lose sight of that, you're missing out. Basketball is fun. And don't make the same mistakes I did of taking the fun out of the game. Yes, we want to win. But if the cost of winning is missing out on the fun, we're not doing it right. Wow. Thank you for all your support. I love y'all. Check out the merch, KG1. Go to kg1shop.myshopify.com. Get yourself a hoodie. And as always, keep God first. Good luck, bro. I'll see you, man.